Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thursday evening workshop. Today's topic is toxins and gut health and effect of toxins also on the microbiome. The whole story started with my own journey. Maybe some of you can identify with me. I thought I'm toxin free. I watched my diet, read labels, educated myself. That was a couple of years ago. And really watched I thought so, toxic intake, right? Until I test myself. Now, the question is, why would I test myself, if, right? I signed up for a program, and as a part of early registrant was free organic acid test. So lo and behold, when I got the results, I was in deep shock because I was toxic. And I could not understand. I was so upset that I even called the lab. I said, this is someone else's result. It can be, yeah, it was my result. So, but here is what I missed, actually missed, and I didn't know the microplastics, right? The fragrances, I knew about phthalates, of course, but I didn't realize, I wasn't aware, when I spray, and I love perfumes, don't get me wrong, I really love them. It's a way right underneath the skin, right? Wherever we, especially when we spray the neck, right? And the wrist area. It's a very quick absorption. And phthalates are having many side effects. Then skincare. Yes, I was choosing carefully my skincare and hair care, and I had the misconception it's at a well-known brand and it's expensive, must be good. Don't judge me for that. That is how I was reasoning, and it really wasn't the case. Because here, guys, we have many factors we can't even control. For example, our furniture. And did you know that furniture sheds a lot of microplastics? Yep. And that microplastics is in the dust. So little by little, I realized where I was getting more toxic than I was supposed to. Oh, yep. That is when people say, oh, toxins, that's not my topic. I am fine. That is, I shared with you guys because it's not really the case. Now, there are a couple of tests we will talk, not today, later on, that you will learn. The specific tests for environmental toxins, you have heavy metal toxicity on. So I'll show a part of the organic acid test where toxicity shows up. And okay, now. And as you know, this presentation is information, sharing information with you. This is not medical advice. So I don't recommend any changes to your protocol. Hello, everyone. I see more people joining us. Welcome, everyone. Not advocating against any change. For that, you need to seek help of your healthcare provider. The presenter is me. My name is Ilona Berkoben. I used to practice medicine and retired to switch to functional medicine, which is my absolute passion and joy and delight. I just really love what I do. And I love my clients. I just had a conversation with one of my lovely client, and it's just such a delight. I don't know if anyone here watching me now or later on has the same privilege to really do the job they love, that they're passionate about. So that's a beautiful blessing in life. So I used to practice, then I switched, then I relocated. I had a quiet, not so boring story about myself. So how I discovered functional medicine almost by accident. So I was signing up for health coach schools, different programs, different levels. And along the way, I started hearing about functional medicine. And I said, oh, what is this? When I started learning about, of course, I signed up for a first class. program, and the rest is history. It's a beautiful modality to work with, and it's just hopefully a future of medicine, and hopefully will come out more and more into the public. I hope so. Because, guys, the current system is broken. It's a disease maintenance. It's not even healthcare, it's a sick care, right? Yes. So the polypharmacy and all that. And what is very bothersome is we spend a lot of money on healthcare, but our health should be number one in the world. We are, I think, number 36, 37, if not even deeper. And what is even more heartbreaking and upsetting, our children are getting chronic diseases. So we have a lot of work to do here. When I don't work, I like to forage and I like to travel. So today we will learn what are the most common toxins, where can we find them, and how do they affect gut health, the microbiome as well, and what can we do about them. So what are the toxins? So environmental toxins are chemicals found in our environment that have negative effect on our health or fetal development. And that is what we need. That is scary, guys. In the blood of the placenta of the newborn, they have over 200 chemicals were isolated. So that is relatively scary. Now, other scary thing, and I don't like fear-mongering people, is statistics. Numbers can speak for themselves. 85,000 chemicals in US, right? And very few, 2,000, if not, are introduced yearly, but a very few were studied for safety. So basically, we are kind of ongoing experiment to see. And interestingly, I was just talking to my client about my workshop. I mentioned to her, and she said, "Oh my gosh, when I bought those Keurigs, those machines that use those coffee pots, what was I thinking?" Yes, no one was thinking of the consequences, right, for health, for the environment. Now, just we realized years later, oh my gosh, this is not good, right? So, and in many things, guys, this is really, we learn as we go, which is not really good. And what are for example, another very interesting information about glyphosate, which is in Roundup, right? When they studied the effect on human health, they didn't notice any direct effect, but the microbiome back then wasn't even discovered yet. So glyphosate, but now we know that glyphosate has more effect than just affecting the microbiome. And if you want to learn, want to go deeper, guys, our 5-day free challenge is coming up soon. We will cover it. Basically, the glyphosate incorporates in the cell membranes, but I'm not going to go today. But when glyphosate Roundup was launched, the goal was to kill the bugs, right? So the crops, the wheat, the oat, barley will be healthy. And what happened? Hi, Lydia, welcome, welcome. Great to see you. But they didn't realize the microbiome, the good bacteria, has a similar metabolic pathway, the so-called shikimic acid, shikimate. So glyphosate kills the bug outside in the fields, but kills our microbiome as well, damaging it. So many things, again, as we learn as we go, unfortunately. Then we have other pesticides, like atrazine, for example. We have phthalates, I just mentioned the perfumes. BPA, that's huge. The bisphenol A, the whole family of bisphenols, hormone disruptors, fake estrogen, right? And when those pre-made meals, guys, I hope you will learn, you will be inspired to do things differently. So the pre-made meals are not good. They're heavily processed, they loaded with chemicals, preservative, taste enhancers, maybe even colorings. Happy New Year, Lydia. Welcome. So, plus they come in plastic containers. And what do we do? Put them in the microwave. And that's the worst thing you can do. Guys, bisphenols, the plastic, the plasticizer, is very unstable under low and high temperature. So when we freeze the water bottle to have a nice cold water during summer, hot summer days, it leaches a very much higher level of bisphenols into the bottle. Same when we microwave things. How many? And I used to do that, guys. Not plastic. Yes, plastic, but of course. But I quit that doing long time ago. But coffee cups, I used to like Starbucks, I will admit. And when I like my coffee has to be hot. So when I will pick up coffee and going to office, I would, by the time I get there, it's not hot enough, I will microwave. And the coating of the coffee cup has BPA. So yeah, we learn, guys. When we know better, we do better. Then we have parabens in cosmetics, triclosan, chlorine, fluoride, asbestos, so many. Deca, perchlorate, PFOA, BHA, heavy metals, over-the-counter and prescription medications, right? Sort of a toxins. Let me see who else joined us. I can't see, but anyway, happy to have you guys. So how do they get into the body? Oral intake, inhalation, skin absorption, breast milk, transplacental, right? That's huge, especially that is pregnant women should be so very careful, so very careful. Now, where to find them? Everywhere. And I didn't know, guys, you know, the famous, I won't mention name, the famous athletic wear that was so in everywhere. They shed microplastics. We will, again, guys, if you want to go deeper, we will have a 5-day free challenge. And once I start promoting it, join the group. It was a separate group, and you will learn many things. One is microplastic we don't talk about. And I was just listening recently, people with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. I don't remember who did the study, Sweden, Norway, not sure. I believe one of the Scandinavian countries. And they find in both cases Alzheimer's and Parkinson's microplastic in the brain, a size of a credit card, which is huge. So the cumulative effect, yes. So let's start with food. We have in the kitchen like pantry, fridge, in the supermarkets, right? Then air, outdoors, indoors. There is a study proven that indoor air is much polluted than outdoor air. Yeah. And then what do? I used to do that, guys. I will put that air fresheners everywhere. That was long time ago. It wasn't recently. Even I had a couple of motion activated. So when I walked past, they just they released the beautiful smell, and I was so proud of myself. Of course, I don't have today anything. If I want to refresh my air, I open the windows or I turn on my diffuser with essential oils. But I was big on air fresheners everywhere. In my car, now I have nothing. In my car, I have a little bag of lavender. Real lavender, dry lavender. That's it. Yeah, we learn, guys. Then furniture. Now, this is the thing we mostly can't avoid much until you have the capability to buy some organic mattress and organic untreated furniture, which is almost impossible and it's extremely expensive, unfortunately, because the spill-resistant chemicals, the flame retardants, all chemicals, right? And we will sleep on the mattress, sleep on the couch, right? Then we have beddings, right? A laundry room, laundry detergent we use. Then skincare product and makeup. Then medicine cabinet, right? So much. So what can we control? Yes, many aspects we can control. You have the power to choose what kind of food you eat. And if even, and I guys, that's my passion, and I get very worked up when I talk about this subject. Every food we buy should be clean, organic, period. We should not need a nutritional degree to learn the label reading, and should not get bankrupt buying healthy and clean food. Organic food is very expensive, and it's not right. It's not okay. So we have to decide where we put our money in, right? And I know, guys, I work with many people, and I had clients that the whole family couldn't afford to go organic, so they bought for her, and the rest of the family ate whatever they can find or afford. It's crazy. So the food choices, but remember one thing. Even if you buy conventional food and cook at home, it's better than buying the ultra processed food or fast food. Let me repeat. Even if you buy conventional food and cook at home, it's still better than the ultra processed or fast food, by all means. And then we can use clean 15, dirty dozen. So we can do just to put a little bit of effort, right? And make better choices. Now, food storage containers, plastics, here we come. Now, if you have plastic containers at home, you don't necessarily need to toss them. Use them as a dry storage. Some seeds and nuts, but don't use in the freezer and don't use in the microwave. In the freezer, what you can do, I like to repurpose stuff, so I save every jar possible, driving my husband nuts because there is no more room for any more jar. I said, I squeeze it somewhere. So you can use, guys, even jars for liquids, but you have to leave about an inch space, because when the liquid freezes and expands, that way you won't break the jar. So you can use jars, just make sure that you leave a little space. So you can do it pretty easier way without breaking your bank. So again, if you use containers to freeze or warm up, usually we should not even using a microwave. Don't use plastics, because remember, the plastics, the bisphenols are plasticizer, very unstable at high and low temperature. So remember that. Now, the BPA free, we know that, right? The industry is catching up, guys. So they're promoting like crazy BPA free water bottle. Don't be fooled, guys. BPA free has BPS or BPF. Equally bad, even if not worse like BPA. So just to know. So what to do instead? Buy a nice stainless steel thermos or glass container, and you are good to go. If you buy a stainless steel thermos, you have a water bottle, whatever, you will have it for a long time. So very important. I recommend always to my clients, if you see some big sales, usually Black Friday or some holidays, look for those glass containers. You can buy relatively cheap. Then household cleaners, that is also a big, big, big issue. Especially they mix it with softeners, and oh my goodness, horrible. So the detergents and fabric softeners, that is what I meant. Um, Personal care products, skincare, makeup, that's huge. Cookware, the non-stick, the Teflon coating. Yeah. So again, things that we really cannot control much, the paints in the household, the furniture, the carpets, the water filtration system, but we can do our own water filtration system. Then outdoor air, we can't really control much, right? Especially office setting. I hear so many times from my clients, I used to be well, then I changed my job or they relocated me and I started to get sick. Guess what? Mold. Hmm. So the building was flooded, especially for a warmer climate. So what toxins are doing for our gut health? Many things. And guys, but here is the thing. Don't take everything is absolutely black and white. There are many gray areas. So for example, uh, low low-grade headache. It's nothing serious, nothing worrisome, but you wake up frequently with low intensity headache, just an annoying headache. It can be caused by many reasons, but one sure enough can be a toxic overload. So usually one person doesn't have symptoms because of one thing. It's usually layers of things. It can be toxic overload, it can be dysbiosis, it can be maybe mold or yeast infections. So it's multiple aspects. So we have inflamed gut lining caused by toxins. We have then that lead to multiple sensitivities, feeling of burning, food reactions, leaky gut, sometimes even reflux. Then they can cause low motility. And what is the risk with slow motility? Create terrain for bacterial overgrowth, SIBO, right? That will cause bloating, reflux, even bile reflux, then affecting bile signaling, poor fat digestion, as I mentioned, bile reflux, then can interfere with gut-brain connection, communications. Anxiety can worsen, depression, fatigue, brain fog can worsen, right? And they affect the microbiome. So microbiome is very sensitive, microbiome, the good bacteria, right? To environmental toxins. Remember, I mentioned the glyphosate that changes the metabolic pathways in bugs, in this case, in the microbiome. So, and we know that when we don't have a healthy microbiome, the gut is not healthy and we are not healthy as well. But also, some of the not so good bacteria, they love the toxic environment, similar that some bacteria like the high cortisol, high stress level state, and they flourish. So, and we have all the consequences of imbalanced microbiome, right? The immune system is getting confused, right? The immune cells can be either suppressed or overactive, right? So a lot of consequences. Now, all this will cause increased risk of IBD, inflammatory bowel diseases such as Crohn's and ulcerative colitis. We have obesity. This is huge, guys. And during the free challenge, we will oh, hi, Monica. I didn't see you. It just showed up now. So welcome, welcome. And hi, Nikki. Oh, so nice, Nikki. Thank you so much for your help. So we will touch upon opposogens, chemicals that disrupt the normal metabolic pathways. Guys, this is huge. Again, in children, we see chronic diseases. And that should be very alarming for everyone. In children, we see diabetes type 2. In children, we see fatty liver disease. In children, we see high blood pressure. Guys, this was unheard of. When I went to medical school, it wasn't recently, but wasn't 100 years ago. It was totally unheard of. Even diabetes, when you heard that a child has diabetes, you didn't even ask, you assume this is type 1, the autoimmune. And today is almost opposite. It's crazy. It's really crazy. We have to do better, guys. We have to do better. We have to protect our children. So obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, liver disease, Guys, we will talk about later on epidemics of fatty liver disease, which was, again, when I studied medicine, it was, when you said fatty liver, it was almost with high certainty alcoholic fatty liver. Today is opposite. And children having fatty liver disease is really boils my blood. That's it. I'm very passionate about, and because especially children, they can do a right decision for themselves. So parents should, take a better care. I don't know what else to say, but many parents don't even know better. So we have a lot of work to do, guys. So colorectal cancer, autoimmune disease, and we know that there's epidemic of autoimmune diseases and neurological diseases. So this is the problem, guys. So it's about 3,000 chemicals found in food. That's the big problem. That's the big problem. And skincare, not even to mention, right? And what I was thinking before, a well-known brand and pricey, that must be good. And when I started learning labels more in depth, I said, oh my gosh, how could even I think that? But again, when we know better, we do better. This is big. I get it. It's very convenient, very easy to use, the Teflon, the non-stick coating, but guys, we jeopardize our health. So if you, again, we will learn, guys, this during the free challenge. If you have this kind of skillet and is brand new, no scratches, use it. But here is how you're going to use it. I used to do that before. I admit I will put the empty skillet, turn on the heat, and when it gets hot, I will put just a little bit of oil or just put, for example, chicken pieces. No, that's wrong. You put oil, you turn on, and a healthy oil, of course, with high smoke point, you turn on a medium heat. And that is, then you add your chicken. If your skillet has scratches, throw it away. It's a must. Throw it away because it will leach a lot of chemicals into your food. And this is plastic. So as I mentioned, it's okay to use for dry storage, for your pantry, but do not use for your not even refrigerator. Refrigerator should be fine, but no freezer, and please not microwaving. Anyway, again, we should not use microwave. So here is part of the Great Plain Laboratories. Actually, now is Mosaic. It was older. Back in the days when I did my, this is not my test. As you see, we have here indicator as detoxification. And you can see here if the detoxification is backed up, sluggish, that is a problem. Now, again, there are specific tests. We will cover those. Who is interested to do, for example, glyphosate levels and heavy metals and so on. There are big panels of testing. Again, probably it will be as a bonus for the challenge. So you will learn, and if I'll show you how can you order those tests if someone interested. So what can we do about it, right? So shop wisely. Watch where you put your money. And if, again, organic, I know it's not only expensive, you can't even find many things, right? Always readily or easily. Do the best you can. Example, I was looking for dandelion leaves a couple of days ago. I can't wait for spring to forage. And I couldn't find organic. I find some regular, and who knows what they spray with, and I didn't buy it. I bought instead organic arugula. Um, For example, if using the clean 15 and dirty dozen, that's a really good guidance. So if you have, for example, brassica, cauliflower, broccoli, They are okay, relatively okay for the Clean 15. They are from the Clean 15 list, so you don't necessarily have to go organic. But apples, for example, grapes, bell peppers, they are dirty dozen, spinach, kale, you will really want to get organic. Or if you can't afford, don't have them very frequently. Space out. So what I like to teach my clients, at least dedicate a day or two per week that is clean and healthy, or at least one meal per day. So guys, trust me, we can make it work. I mean, and I know no money has gazillion places, but from my own experience working with people and talking with people, uh, people spend money, a lot of money on cable or whatever, and they say, oh, I don't have money for things that will improve our health, right? So juggle, do the best you can. So take, for example, another thing. You don't have to burn candle in every room, not in every room at all, because they are toxic and they cost money. What if instead buying candles and people here, oh my gosh, at large with bagfuls. Instead of that, you invest into a nice diffuser and put essential oil, right? So we can do many things. Trust me, guys. Just have to put a little bit of work. Read labels. That is very important. Again, we will go deep into during our challenge. Then do periodic cleanses. Test yourself, right? We can do many things. Again, we cannot control some things, but we can do many things. So let's see if you have any question, guys. I would like to hear from you. And I wonder if anyone is throughout the years had some realization, oh my gosh, I should not be doing this. And what was that? I would like to hear from you. I shared with you my air fresheners. Oh my God, in every room. And I had two motion activate. So sometimes we just walk back and forth. Yeah, I did. That was a long time ago, really. That was 20 years ago when I just, soon after I came to the States. So I would like to hear from you because, guys, we do those things that we're now asking myself, why would I do that? But as I'm talking to my clients, I said, don't blame yourself. I was on, that was also a long time ago, on salt-free diet, completely salt-free. How stupid. We need salt, guys, good salt, though. So, but the thing, see, I learned to use spices. I never used before salt, pepper, maybe paprika, or maybe, I don't know, maybe not even ginger. Back I didn't use ginger. And when I went to salt-free diet, because you really have to give some taste, and how do you create a taste that is palatable by playing with spices? So that I learned. So I expanded my repertoire of spices. So we do things. I mean, that is I like to teach, guys. That is I like to inspire, because when we know better, we do better. And that's it. Any question before I finish our workshop? Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I really so appreciate you. I know time is our biggest commodity, so I don't take that lightly. And whoever you think could benefit, please share out. Share, share, share. And next Thursday, we have a Q&A session. So I make a post soon and start sending your questions. It's always so much fun. So if no comments, I'm checking. If no comments, I will close for tonight. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. If you watch the reply, feel free to comment, ask questions. I'll check them all. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.